Hey y'all, welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel we talk about all things dealing with astrology. So, something I had been thinking about doing for a while has been like TV characters and basically talking about some of their placements in their birth chart. So, I don't know, this might be a one and done, or I might just do several of them because I don't know, I think about it enough, so it's kind of funny. Um, the show that I wanted to do today is Girlfriends. Some of you may know it. A lot of people have probably heard of it, but I think most of you probably know of the show Girlfriends. Came out, I think, in the early 2000s. But anyway, we're going to start off with Joan, obviously, because in the first season, she was the one who got her, like little side note for every little thing that happened. So, in my opinion, I would say that Joan is a Virgo sun because she had lists for so many things. But I also would say that she was a Pisces moon because she how can I put it? She could get into her own dream world sometimes. Like her own fantasy land, I guess you could say, whenever it came to um men. And I would say maybe a Cancer rising because she was very motherly out of the four of the girls. Excuse me, sorry about that. She was like the most mothering one out of all of them, even though she wasn't a mother, but she was the most motherly one to all the girls in the group. So next I would say Tony. Tony, I would say that she was a Leo moon just because she seemed to thrive off of attention from others or basically other people. So I would say either Leo or Libra, but I think I would say more of Leo than Libra. Her sun sign probably Taurus because she likes the finer things in life. Even though she didn't grow up with it, she knew that was what she wanted, and nobody was going to stop her from getting what she wanted, like a Taurus. And with that Leo moon, she loved the attention. And I would say she was probably, I don't know what I would say her rising sign would be. Maybe I don't know if I want to say Libra because that's a lot of Venus in her chart. And I wouldn't necessarily say that she had that much Venus. I would probably say a Capricorn rising because even though she was shallow with a lot of things, she was about her business. And she even started her own business in the show. So yeah, I would say probably Taurus, Capricorn, and Leo for her. That making her sound way more stable than what she was. Um, and next, I would probably go to Maya. Maya, I would think that she seems like she got some Scorpio somewhere in her. Scorpio, I would say maybe a Scorpio sun. Yeah, I would probably say a Scorpio sun, Libra rising, and Gemini moon. Hers was probably the easiest thus far. But yeah, Scorpio sun, Libra rising, Gemini moon, because she did end up writing a book, even though it took her a while to get to that point of writing the book. And with the Libra rising, she did, step out on her husband, even though they never got intimately. Intimately? I I don't know. I feel like my words are disconnecting a little bit, but they never got all the way involved, but he did kiss her. And it's like, that's when she realized, oh no, this right here is wrong. It took her that long to realize it, even though she had been going on dates with this man for I don't know how long. And this man had bought her a whole watch and everything. And she was just like, oh, it's okay. and lied and said that Joan did it. And here goes Joan with that Cancer rising, taking the blame and trying to be that motherly figure to get her friend out of a bind. And then we can get to Lynn. Everybody always says that Lynn has Sagittarius, and I would say she was probably Sagittarius sun, but I would think that she was more of a Aquarius rising and a Pisces moon, because Lynn could really be out there sometimes. She went to the beat of her own drum, obviously, and she would drop anything and go somewhere in a second. And I also feel like with that Pisces moon, because she did have this moment where she was, very much into arts, and she also ended up having like this singing career that I don't think anybody saw coming, because it's not like throughout the show she was just singing her lungs off or whatever. That probably sounds weird, but it's okay. So she was never just singing a whole bunch throughout the show, and then she got to the point where she was like, she her she fell in love with music, and I see that with Pisces and Libra. But I would think that she would be with more Pisces, because I think her name was like Indigo Sky. That has Pisces written all over it. And I would say Sagittarius sun, because she would drop anything at a minute and go somewhere. Like it didn't matter to her. She was on the go. And with the Aquarius rising, because she wouldn't necessarily try to do everything that her friends were doing. Like even with them, wanting to get a man. Maya wasn't as much in that field of wanting to get a man, but I think it was more because she was married, then she was divorced, and then she got married to the same guy again. But with Joan and Tony, they were more like, they wanted to get a man. I think Joan showed it more than Tony. And Lynn, she did like to have a man, but I don't think that was something that she was always so focused on, even though she did have her moments where she was boy crazy. I'm not taking that away from the character at all. But yeah, I just think that she really did go to the beat of her own drum. And there was a lot of things that she did not care about, like when Joan said something that she went to, I think, 8 of her graduations, and Lynn only went to like 3 of her own graduations because she didn't care about it. She didn't care. The Sagittarius part of her was like, let me go back to school for whatever else. The Aquarius in her was like, I don't care about this graduation. Y'all can go, but I'm going to go do whatever else. And the Pisces in her was like, I'm going to live in Dreamville. I think that her and Joan had that Pisces, although I think that Joan was more grounded with that Virgo and Capricorn. I mean, that Virgo and Cancer. It was that Cancer. I do think that Joan probably had some Capricorn in her also. I honestly, with Joan, she probably could have had something in all of the earth signs, but I think the Virgo just stood out the most. With Tony, I do still think that she had that Capricorn in her, but I also really believe that the Leo was in her. The reason why I think that her moon was in Leo was because it's like she really, really, really wanted that attention. She wanted that recognition. She really wanted to be that it girl. It's not saying, well, it didn't necessarily come to her naturally. She had to work for what she had. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm here and this is how it is. With Maya, she could be a talker and she could be down for whatever. So I do still believe that that moon was in Gemini and that sun was in Scorpio. She could definitely be down for whatever, and she would let you know how it is. And if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, boo, but you'll get over it. That's kind of how she was. And Lynn was just very much free spirited. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just be thinking about random TV shows that I have watched in the past, and I would think about which character might have which, planets in which signs. And I know it's not necessarily the actual person. And I know sometimes they'll have the character's birthday on TV, but this right here was more of just what I got from them. So if you have seen the show Girlfriends, I want to know which ones that you did and did not agree with. And for the ones that you didn't agree with, I just want to know, how do you, like, what would you put there? Like, if you saw Tony as something other than a Capricorn rising, like, what would you see her as? Did I say Taurus? No, I think I said, I don't know. I said something. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But if you did or did not agree, I would just like to know what you did or did not agree on. But thank you for watching, and y'all have a good day.